Hiya, the people at Blokees were kind enough to send us some more of their Transformers line to look at. I know I can't quite believe it either, but their mistake is our gain because we have the Transformers ONE Galaxy version 5 set here, 9 new models to build. So let's build them all individually, have a look at them on my YouTube channel, and hey, maybe we'll even have a little bit of fun along the way, huh? Huh? Me and you, what do you say, huh? So in case you weren't listening earlier, there are 9 new models to build from the TF1 movie. Let's have a look at one of them in the packaging. The packaging, as ever, is lovely. We've got that nice rainbow sheen to it. Each of the boxes has a list of the characters, as well as a depiction of Optimus Prime and Megatron, or D16 if you're going to be like that. If you want to see what goes into the making of a Blockee toy, check the link in the description. Here we're just going to run down each of the characters in the set, and because we like to add some unnecessary drama, let's present them in order until we reach the very best of the box. The only main differences between this set and the ones that have came before is that the hinges for the elbows and knees now come pre-assembled. You don't have to fit them together, which is nice because it was occasionally a bit of a finger shredding experience. Besides that, it's fairly familiar territory if you've built one already. First up's Ironhide, not exactly the star of the movie, this boy, is he? And it's reflected in their design. I'm guessing when we get the sequel, everyone's going to be in their upgraded forms and a little bit more visually interesting. Still, it's very clearly Ironhide, and we can see a slight variance in proportion when compared to the previous sets too. At first I was sure that the TF1 sets were taller, but it's just a more elongated proportion set that's thrown me off. I like the original squat stylized proportions of the original sets, but I do have to say I prefer this approach. Ironhide gets his gun, and despite the plain deco, we've got a nicely sculpted spark chamber, and like all the Blockies, his joints are nice and tight. Not the best of the bunch, but still very charming. Next up is Hound, who shares the fate of Ironhide, in that they were a background player in the film, but since it's Hound, they get a step up on the ladder. There's a vibrancy to the green here that doesn't quite come across on the camera. Clearly a lot of parts shared with Ironhide, but again, that's just a testament to the power of character. So be quiet. Wheeljack's up next, and look at his cute little bulbous eyes. A very cute interpretation of the character that doesn't steer too far away from Ironhide and Hound, but definitely enough to make it stand out above them. Next is the star of the show, Orion Pax. I think they do a great job on the facial likeness here. We've got some very cute little smokestacks, and yep, it's probably enough for me to own this incarnation of the character. I don't know if I necessarily need another TF1 Orion Pax toy now, make of that what you will. Like most of the Blockee sets before, once you start getting into the sets that have their own distinct features or tooling, the line really starts to shine. Small additions to character like B-127 here, with all the distinct feet and chest parts that help this boy carry more weight, in terms of personality as well as actual, weight. Still, it's a cute wee guy, no arguing that. I don't know why you're always looking for an argument. It's D16, he's all cogged up, with that damn symbol slashed into his chest. They're on their way down a bad path, but I can fix them. This is a lovely rendition of the boy, just enough good left in him, We get the big fusion cannon, and this smaller cannon. The Decepticon logo on the armour is a nice touch, and there's a few extra pieces to contend with, like the red parts on the chest. It's when you deviate from the standard Blockies pattern that you really start digging these things. Well, look who it is, Optimus Prime himself. A really smart way to differentiate them from Orion with the larger chest piece and shoulders here. We get a pretty nice Energon axe, and even if I didn't get the super special shiny version this time, it's still pretty great. I mean, look at the size of this gun. Time for everyone's favourite in the film. It's Death Tracker. Yay. Still, it's a belter of a toy, loads of additional pieces like the arm cannons, the giant gun, the backpack, the wings. It's weird that such a nobody got the special treatment, but I do love their Viacon styling and the little things like a splash of red on the shoulder that goes a long way. Maybe it could have done with some more colour or detail in general, even if it did stray away from the movie design, because God knows I can barely remember them in the film. Finally, the real star of the film is the star of this box, and it's Sentinel Prime. This is head and shoulders above everything else in this box. I'm assuming the largest portion of the budget went into this toy. We get pretty much custom everything, really nice stylized renditions of the film's designs, as well as 2 swords that you can combine in one hand, and of course with these massive wings that move around on ball joints. If every Blockee was like this, they would take over the planet, let me tell you. Probably one of my top 5 Blockees so far. So that's the set. In terms of character choice, it's a bit weird. I do wish they would have given us some more baddies, but I do get it. In previous waves we've already had Soundwave, Shockwave, Starscream, etc. But where's Elita? You've got 3 of the main cast here, but not her. Also, Arachnid, please. It's a little bit disappointing, but I guess they want to hold off some stuff back for the second wave of TF1 toys, and I hope we get those soon. Plus, they did release Alita in the Classic class, along with these lads, which Blokees also sent. But I'm going to show those off in the next video, so hope you like Blokees as much as I do. Maybe we'll do something actually in between, like an annual review or something else you won't watch. But overall, for a set, this has its ups and downs, but improvements in the overall feel, in those joints coming pre-assembled, and the change in proportion to be more in step with the film, it's another cracker from them, to be honest. And I'd feel like a shill if these weren't so good. And speaking of shilling, thanks to everyone for your support on Patreon at patreon.com/TRDQ. Like Patron, here's why it's cool, whose favourite toy is Fortress Maximus, and I can't fault you for that. Even if Brave Maximus is better, I don't have it in me to fight. Back off, alright? If you've got a favourite toy, let us know on the Patreon. Links in the description to that specific page where you can let me know. Alright, bye.